Right, welcome ladies and gents. Will Smith talks Oscar night with Trevor Noah. That was a rage that had been bottled for a really long time. So this is, I think, one of the first times he's actually spoken about this since the whole thing happened. I was going to talk about this yesterday, but it just got away from me, so apologies there, ladies and gents. But he's doing the rounds because he's promoting his new movie, Emancipation, which I think was actually thought to be canned at one point. So, you know, that's still going. And obviously, this is going to be the most milquetoast interview you've ever seen, because with Trevor Noah, like, no one's going to push him on anything. No one was going to push him on anything anyway. And his statements on this, a lot of it is just nonsense as well. A lot of it is kind of holding accountability, but also shirking responsibility at the same time. So take it all with a massive pinch of salt. Before we do, ladies and gents, I've got to ask you, please do give the video a big thumbs up and please do share it. And if you're new here, do hit subscribe. Stay up to date on loads of stuff. And if you want to check out other videos where I'm sort of doing roundtable conversations, I do live streams, and there's a live stream channel. You can find it linked down below in the description box where you find clips. So, you know, not like a 2-hour stream, although they are there, but there's highlight clips. So check that out. Would love to have you over there. But yeah, let's dive into this, right? So he was discussing with Trevor Noah on Monday the Oscar night issue, okay, where he basically slapped Chris Rock in front of millions of people. It was the slap heard around the world. And they're like, oh, he's so emotional. He revisited the Oscar night. I don't care if he was emotional. I'd want to hear about Chris Rock more than anything. I don't care if Will Smith was emotional, talking about how he nuked his own career. Could not give a shit. But he did explain what drove him to slap Chris Rock. Any guesses? Accountability, maybe? No. I was gone, dude, Smith told Noah on The Daily Show. That was a rage that had been bottled for a really long time. He's channeling his greatest performance right now, talking about all of this. But Will Smith, who was on the Comedy Central show to promote his latest film, Emancipation, so again, like I said, this is him trying to do some PR, recouping, and obviously trying to get people to look at his new film. But he shared a heartfelt story about coming home from winning his first Academy Award and having to explain his behaviour to his 9-year-old nephew. I love this, right? Because this reframes it as, oh, we've got to pity Will Smith, you know. He won his first Academy Award, and you know what? He had to go home and explain just why he slapped someone. Oh, no. It's like, well, what? What do you mean? Like, this is an emotional story about Will Smith. I don't care. You know, I couldn't give a shit. Like, whether you went home and you were bitterly upset with yourself because you had to explain your behaviour. I mean, that's just being accountable. But anyway, guys, he's the sweetest little boy. He stayed up late to see his Uncle Will. We're sitting in the kitchen. He's on my lap holding the Oscar, and he asked, "Why did you hit that man, Uncle Will?" Doesn't this sound like it's been written for him? It does, doesn't it? Like, massively. Does sound like it's been written on behalf of some, you know, PR team. And he goes, "Why are you trying to Oprah me?" Smith remembered thinking. I was like, it was a mess. I don't want to go too far into it to give people more to misunderstand. Oh, we're just going to misunderstand you, Will. Of course we are. So earlier in the discussion, Smith tried to explain his behaviour by reminding people you just never know what somebody is going through. Well, we kind of do, and there was loads of videos around it about how you're a cuck, a literal cuck. I'm not using this word hyperbolic. You know, he's literally a cuck. His wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, was screwing someone behind his back. They had an open marriage where she could do what she wanted and he wasn't allowed to. She also openly said how crap he was in bed to millions of people. He's a literal cuck. So we know what you're going through, but you just don't want to admit it to anyone. Everyone knows, everyone can see it, but you keep lying to everyone and lying to yourself. But anyway, he goes, I was going through something that night, he said, while turning to address the Daily Show audience. That doesn't justify my behaviour at all. But wait, he's going to try. We just gotta be nice to each other, man, Smith continued, gripping a tissue. But you slapped someone. It's hard, I guess. The thing that was most painful for me is I took my heart and made it hard for other people. I understood the idea when they say hurt people, hurt people. Fucking Jesus. This has so been written for him. He also talked about how he became the little boy that watched his father beat up his mother. All of that bubbled up in that moment. That's not who I want to be. Oh my goodness me. Now he's saying, oh, you know, I saw my dad beat my mother. Oh my God, you know. Oh, give me some sympathy, everyone. No, Will. No. Come on now. We knew this would happen. We knew he would do this sympathy tour, this pity bitching. But I didn't realise it would be as scripted as this and as imaginative. I mean, this is very dramatic. Literally, I watched my father beat my mother. Oh, for goodness sake. Noah tried several times to stick up for Smith, saying everybody can make a mistake, and how the actor's actions on Oscar night were not who you are. Noah also called out the relentlessly shitty press that he and his wife Jada Pinkett have endured. Well, in fairness, no, Jada Pinkett brought that on herself. Shouldn't be shagging people, right, behind your husband's back, alright? It's not cool. Alright, do dumb shit, get called out. It brought Smith to tears. I understand how shocking it was to people, Smith said. This is the first time Smith addressed the incident on a late-night talk show. In a recent conversation with Fox's Good Day DC, Kevin McCarthy, Smith said he realises that some people may not want to see his new movie after what happened at the Oscars. Again, just PR tour. I completely understand if somebody is not ready. I would absolutely respect that and allow them their space to not be ready. My deepest concern is my team. Antoine Fuqua has done what I think is the greatest work of his entire career. The people on this team have done some of the best work of their entire careers, and my deepest hope is that my actions don't penalise my team. At this point, that's what I'm working for. Shut up, mate. Honestly, shut up. Shut up. This is massively scripted. I don't understand how anyone could believe this. Again, we know what you're going through. You just don't want to admit it. You should admit it because your wife publicly cucks you and makes you look like an idiot. So you should be able to go, you know what, actually, my wife's a bit of a knob. I should have divorced her years ago. That's what you should do. Goodness me.